Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel. I'm Spina, and today I'm going to bake salmon. Okay? So here are the ingredients. We're going to need one whole fillet of salmon. We're going to need 8 ounce or 1 cup of cream cheese, half cup of mayonnaise, half cup of parmesan cheese, around 10 to 12 cloves of garlic, salt and pepper to taste, and we're going to use a little bit of breadcrumbs and excess parmesan to top our salmon later. Okay, so we're going to also need the juice of 1 lemon. Okay, so let's start by patting dry our salmon. And then I'm going to juice 1 lemon to season our salmon with. Okay, so I will marinate this for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And then season with salt and pepper. Okay. I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to put it in our baking dish. Okay. And top it with our garlic. So I'm going to only top it with half of the garlic because I'm going to use half of the garlic for our toppings. Okay, so we're going to make a cream cheese topping later on. While marinating this, I'm going to start making our toppings. So while marinating our fish here, I'm going to make our topping. Okay, so this is 1 cup of cream cheese, and then combine this with half cup of mayonnaise and half cup of parmesan. And our remaining minced garlic. And of course, salt and pepper. So I won't put too much salt here because the parmesan is already going to add saltiness to our topping. Okay, and then mix this well until the cream cheese is softened and combined well with all the rest of the ingredients. So after combining our toppings and waiting for 10 to 15 minutes, we will spread our fish with our topping. Okay, so others usually pair this with buttered corn and carrots, but I will be baking some vegetables to go with this. So flatten it like this. And then sprinkle with some breadcrumbs. So we don't need much, maybe around 1/4 cup. And then sprinkle again with parmesan on top. Okay, so we're going to bake this at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for around 30 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to pair this with buttered vegetables or baked vegetables. So I'm going to use 3 carrots that I will cut roughly like this one. Okay. So it's up to you how you want to cut your vegetables. So I'm going to cut it bite size. And I have here a lined baking pan. So I want to put a foil on my baking pan so it's easier later to wash it, or clean up is easier when you have lined your baking pan with foil. Okay. So I'm going to use different kinds of vegetables. So it's up to you what you want to use. I'm going to use also potatoes like this. So I'm going to use maybe 2 or 3 carrots. Since I have a small potato, I'm going to use maybe around 6 to 7. So I like my potatoes with the skin on so that it looks rustic later. So make sure that you scrub your potatoes very well if you're going to cook this with the skin on, okay? You can also peel your potatoes if you want. I also have sweet potato, or we call it kamote, okay? So we have to cut it basically the same size so that it will cook evenly. I will bake this together with my fish. So I get to save on time when baking. Time and energy when baking. So I'm going to use again 3 carrots, maybe around 6 potatoes, and then around 3 pieces of sweet potato. And to have some greens, I'm going to also combine this with some green beans, okay? So that you can see different colors later on. Okay, so I've cut here my 6 to 7 pieces of potatoes, 3 pieces of large carrots, and 3 pieces of sweet potato or kamote. Okay, so I think it's going to be too full, so I'm going to divide this into 2 baking pans so it will cook faster. Okay, so that when I line it up, I want it to be a thin layer of like this. Okay, so I have a very big piece here. Okay, so again, make sure that your again, you don't have to line your baking pan, but I find it easier to wash after if I line my baking pan with foil or parchment. Okay, so flatten your vegetables like this one and season it with a generous amount of salt and pepper, and then olive oil. I'm going to bake this for an hour or more, depending on how you want your vegetables to be done. But I want my vegetables to be cooked very well, because cooking for a long time makes my vegetables sweeter. Okay, so the natural sugar in the vegetables turns sweet when you bake them for a long time. Okay, so you just have to test it if the vegetables are done. So I'm going to see later. Okay, so again, season your vegetables generously with salt and pepper and a lot of extra virgin olive oil. So I'm not going to put my green beans. So I'm going to separately cook my green beans, but I'm going to combine it later on. So again, you don't need to measure your olive oil. Just drizzle a generous amount, and then I'm going to mix this again with my hands to make sure that every vegetable is coated with your salt and pepper and your olive oil. Okay? So, make sure to mix them up like this. Okay? So, this is a very easy dish to prepare, but it's going to be so delicious. You can also add some zucchini here, but I cannot find zucchini because I'm here in Mindoro. I'm here in the province. They don't have zucchini available. So you can also change this dish by adding different herbs that you would want. You can add parsley or basil or Cajun spice. So it's really up to you how you want to season this. Okay? So again, I'm going to cook this together with my fish. So I'm going to bake this longer than my fish because fish takes a short time to cook, and you will leave your vegetables longer than your fish. Again, I will bake this at 400 degrees. The fish for 30 minutes or until done, and the vegetables for an hour, 50 minutes or more. Okay, 50 minutes to an hour or even more, depending on how you want your vegetables doneness to be. Okay, so I'm going to show you later after it's baked. So for my vegetables, for my green beans, I'm going to just blanch this, and then after baking my vegetables, I'm just going to combine this and toss this together so that I will have a green color to go with this beautiful vegetables. Okay, after 30 minutes, it's going to look like this. Okay, so I think I added 5 more minutes, so 35 minutes for this one. And here are our vegetables. So I'm going to just combine it in one container. And I have already also blanched my vegetables. So combine everything in one bowl. So test your vegetables if they are done and tender. So this is tender already, okay? So you can see how soft it is. Then I'm going to add a little bit more flavor by adding just a bit of butter before mixing. Okay. So see how beautiful the color of your vegetables are and how easy it is to make it, because you're just going to have to leave it in the oven, and after around 50 minutes just go back for it. So it's almost dinner time. You can see here I already also prepared my what I call jambalaya. Okay, so if you want to learn how to make this jambalaya, you have to watch out for my next videos because I'm going to make this soon. Okay, so here is our dish, our baked salmon with baked vegetables on the side. Okay, so you can also decorate this on the side here, but I prefer to have it in a separate bowl. Okay, so if you like our dish for today, please don't forget to put a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Trish Espina. Thank you for watching, and see you next video. Bye bye. Happy New Year!